Why high school is a scam. Welcome back to the Kenyan student, and today we focus on the 8 life lessons high school does not teach you. You see, sometimes we're in high school, we come out and we think that we have everything that it takes to become millionaires, we have everything that it takes to become billionaires within a month after high school, or within a few months before joining campus. But the reality hits us. There are a lot of things that the school did not teach us that are very, very important. Okay, so why aren't we taught how to handle money, for instance, how to handle our emotions, or even the real world challenges? Why does high school prepare you? High school just prepares you academically, but it often neglects the practical skills. And life is more than exams. Success requires emotional, financial, and social intelligence. And let's get into it without wasting much more time. The first skill that high school will never teach you is financial literacy. Yes, my people, financial literacy. You see, why is financial literacy important? Managing money is a daily necessity, and most people actually graduate without understanding budgeting, saving, investing, or even taxes. You will come out of high school, and I will ask you one simple question. Out of the pocket money you are given since Form 1, how can you account for that money? You look at me and you will just shy off because you don't have an answer. I will also ask you, you maybe did so well in KCSE. You are given some cash as appreciation. Tell me what you have done without money. And you will look at me and also shy off. That is why we are talking about financial literacy. You have been maybe told that out here, you'll be given money. You see, you will be getting to campus, for instance. You will get that help money. You will get that money that your parent will be giving you for upkeep. But the question is, are you ready to manage it? This is something that you will never be taught in high school. This is something that you come out very grey, for instance. And that's why we are talking about mismanaged finances that will lead to debt and stress. If you don't take this skill seriously, it will lead you to debt and stress. And that's why we need you to take smart financial decisions to enable freedom and security. So now the question is, how do I actually come to learn this financial literacy? I have now in agreement that I don't know anything to do with financial literacy. How do I start managing my money? And that's what we are saying. You need to take actionable steps. And one of those is to start budgeting using apps like Mint or Excel. Okay? You start managing. And not just budgeting apps, but also apps that will track your money. We have very good apps out here like the Mint or Excel, whereby you put your money there, and anytime you spend a coin, you indicate what you have spent with. And after a month, you will go and they will give you a full report. They will tell you that, you know what, you have actually used 5,000 shillings on food on this month alone. You have used 5,000 shillings on entertainment alone in this month. You have used 3,000 shillings on your phone, buying internet and all that. And that will give you a way of actually managing that particular money. Something else, you also need to learn about compound interest and begin saving early. I don't know whether you have heard of things like money market funds, whereby that money that you've been given, other than putting it in the bank, we have this a very good thing or achievement that I'm out of high school and I've actually opened a bank account and I'm actually saving my money there. You'll be shocked when you start reading books like Psychology of Money that actually saving money in a bank account is not the best of the best things. You cannot save your way to wealth. You cannot save your way to wealth. You need to start learning about compound interest, whereby you will start putting your money in money market funds or investing this money. That's why I'm encouraging you. Apart from using budgeting apps, apart from learning this, go and also read financial books like Psychology of Money, and they will take you far. So this is one of the skills. Okay. The second skill is emotional intelligence. You see, why is this emotional intelligence important? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your emotions while empathizing with others. Okay? And a higher emotional intelligence leads to better relationships and decision making. This is the most important intelligence in the world today. Leave alone what we call it, artificial intelligence. Leave alone what else? IQ. You can be very, very intelligent, but we're talking about the emotional intelligence in this factor. How do you relate with people? This is something that high school will never teach you. It is something that high school will never teach you. I can tell you for a fact. Let's just take some examples here. Those leaders who have a higher EQ inspire their teams, and those with a low EQ will actually cause conflict. Okay, emotional regulation will help in the stressful situations like exams or interviews. How emotional are you in life? There's some people you see in life, for instance, in campus and all that, you'll get into relationships and you'll be heartbroken. How will you deal with such an issue? That is how your emotional intelligence is. Or you will get to a class and people will boo you. Maybe even the lecturer will talk ill about you. How is your emotional intelligence about it? How high is your EQ? And that is what is determining even how you succeed in life. So start recognizing and understanding emotions, both yours and people around you. And usually say respond, don't react. Okay? Practice active listening. Active listening means when I'm talking, don't be thinking how to respond. Just listen. Okay? Cultivate flexibility. You will go to campus and you will be having your own schedule. Then a lecturer will come in and say we need to have an exam on a Friday evening or on a Saturday and you're going for a party. How will you manage that? You have to cultivate flexibility. You see? Or you're given you know that your parents should send you upkeep of 10,000 shillings, and then something happens and this time they send you maybe just 6,000 shillings. You have to be flexible in your spending. You don't have to start crying and start telling them, you know what, you are disrespecting me, so that is what you're talking about. EQ. You have to embrace empathy. You have to champion growth and learning. Okay, and then that's what you said, that you have to reflect on your emotions and triggers. And you have to develop empathy by actively listening to others. Ensure this skill is developed in you even as you proceed with your academics. The third thing that you actually need to learn and you're not taught in high school is networking and building relationships. Sorry for that. Okay? Why is it important? You see, your network is your net worth. Success often depends on who you know, and schools will really emphasize meaningful connections. You see, in school, it is just about that friend who you will just chill out, you will go to class with, you are in the same dormitory. But out here, how well you know people matters a lot. You will actually come to realize that we have job opportunities, but these job opportunities go to who do you know in the system? Who do you know in the system? So you actually have to start cultivating this relationship. When you get to campus, when you get wherever you are, start knowing people even from other years. Start knowing people even from other courses. Because those ones are the ones who will be saying, you know what? I actually know of a lawyer and he's a friend of mine, he does a very good job. You can talk to him. You can talk to her. You get that? So you have to actually start networking and you start building relationships as early as you can. So some real examples is that these mentors are the ones who open doors to opportunities. Okay? And alumni networks, for instance, can help you land jobs. You are maybe from high school. Are you in the alumni WhatsApp group? If at all there is one. Can you get into it? And if there is no, create one. Because these alumni are the ones who create jobs. You've even heard of people think that alumni are the ones who supply some schools with some produce. You might in future be that alumni. How are you going to get to that space? It is through these alumni networks. Ensure you get to these alumni networks. Whenever the alumni meetings in your institutions, go for them. You will find people of like-minded, and you will actually be able to see that they will become value-based relationships. So what are the actionable steps? Attend events, like I'm telling you, and introduce yourself to new people. When you go to campus, don't just be that guy who just comes, chills, and go. No, introduce yourself. Okay, maintain connections via LinkedIn or personal follow-ups. We're going to actually make a video about how to create LinkedIn and so forth and so on. So be on the lookout as well. These ones will save you a lifetime, because out here is who you know, and your network is your network. Let's get the fourth thing that high school never taught you: time management. You think that you know time management, and I'm telling you, you don't know. You are now out here. Maybe you're from high school and you used to hear a bell and then you rush. No one is going to do that for you. Okay? So proper time management avoids burnout and it will increase your productivity. In the school, high school often teaches deadlines, but not prioritization or balance. And that's what you'll be bringing out to the world. You're in campus, no one will be asking you when to wake up. You might be having a class at 8, and I can bet you can even be waking up at 7:20 and you're in that class at 8, or even 5 minutes later. So what has high school taught you? It has taught you deadlines. But have you prioritized? It has not taught you that. Have you balanced? It has not taught you that. It has not taught you that you can actually be in campus and still earn money on the side, because it has taught you you're in campus, you will just go there and study. But it has not taught you that you can actually prioritize. That this time I will be doing this time I will be learning a skill, this time I will be cooking, this time I will be meeting someone, or even balancing. That's how time management is. Okay, so time management will actually lead to missed deadlines and stress, just like we said. In for instance, in campus, if you join campus, you'll find out that there's some universities, if you get late maybe more than 15-30 minutes, you are not allowed to do an exam, and that exam can be life defining, because it means that you might repeat a whole academic year just because of poor time management, and they will not listen to your stories. That's how serious it can get. Effective planning will help you juggle multiple responsibilities. That's what I'm saying, that you can actually be so effective in your time management that you find yourself you are studying and you're still earning on the side hustle, and you still have time for family and friends. That can only come when you learn time management. That was not taught effectively in high school, because in high school you are following a certain schedule, a certain system. Okay, so what should I do? Use tools like Google Calendar to start scheduling your system, that at this time I have this particular schedule to do. Okay, you adapt a matrix that will prioritize tasks. This is an assignment I'm giving. Just go and check this SNOR matrix. We're going to be doing a full video on it, so again, be on the lookout and check about it. Okay, so what's the next and the fifth skill that high school never taught you? Basic cooking and nutrition. I know it might look funny, but let me tell you one thing. Cooking is a survival skill, and nutrition will impact health and productivity. High school will really emphasize how to prepare healthy meals, and you will come to campus, you don't know how to cook, and you find yourself that, oh my goodness, I need to start knowing how to cook. Okay, and what happens when you don't know how to cook in campus, or in campus, because that's what we are talking about? What happens is that you start having unhealthy diets, which will lead to lifestyle diseases. Okay, I know people will argue with me and they say, we are just going to go to a certain hotel or to a certain, fast food outlet. It's okay, but when you overdo it, it is going to lead to a lot of disease. Because when you're in the school compound, I'm talking about those who live outside. When you're in the school compound and you actually you are from a class and it is lunchtime, you see you cannot cook at that point. It's okay, you can actually go to that fast food outlet. But what about in the evening? You are at home and you are living far from that particular fast food. Will you be waiting to eat supper so that you can go home? Oh my goodness, that will be so tiresome, and it will be such a foolish act. Can you learn how to cook at home? Because it will save you money. When you go there and start doing those calculations, you will actually come to realize how much you save by just cooking at home, and it will build a lot of independence as well. For those who are still in hostels and you are not allowed to cook in some hostels, one point you will come out of those hostels and you now start realizing the true fact about basic cooking. You need to know how to cook, and not just cooking, but also nutrition. Not just cooking food that is not food, but also nutrition. So what should I do? Learn simple recipes and meal planning. Okay, and where can I do that? You can watch cooking tutorials or take short courses of cooking, by the way. Some of them are even free, as a matter of fact. And even if you still have time, those who are after high school, learn it from your parents, from that house help who is helping you to cook. Volunteer and help them, and by the time you get to university, you'll be way ahead, and this will really save you a lifetime. Okay, so which is the next thing that you actually need to study? Practical first aid. This is something that high school never teaches you, but you need it. You see, this basic aid can save lives in emergencies. Okay, and many will feel helpless during accidents due to lack of training. I don't know whether you have been in an accident situation and you cannot help, but you will feel helpless. You are like, these people are actually dying, but you don't know how the first aid skills you have. And this gap here that you have, you actually have a whole time to study first aid. you have the time to study first aid. And when you know, for instance, knowing CPR is what they are doing at this point. I've forgotten the whole definition. I'll put it in the description below. So it is resuscitation. Actually, it's a form of resuscitation. Okay, and it can be the difference between life and death. It can be. It's not health but death. It can be the difference between life and death. This particular CPR. So if you can be able to actually learn it, it can save you a lot. Save you and save even maybe it might be your family member. So these are the skills that you need to know. They are not taught in high school, but you have to come and know them out here. And quick action will even prevent minor injuries from escalating. And sometimes you find that you may not know this practical first aid, but in an accident scenario, you actually end up complicating a simple injury to a major injury. Maybe someone has broken the spinal cord, and then you just go there carrying him like a sack of potatoes. You actually continue to make it even worse, and you even make these people never to walk again, just because you never learned first aid. It is that serious. Take time and learn it, and I can tell you it takes a very short time. In fact, some of these things is a matter of hours. You just go to a first aid, for instance, Red Cross or St. John's ambulance, and they will train you maybe for a single day, and you will come out a very efficient first aider. At least basics, very very important. Okay. So again, take certified first aid courses and learn using platforms like Red Cross or YouTube tutorials. They're all over. These are free things that you can learn. Very very important to actually learn them. Okay. Something else. Social etiquette and professionalism is the seventh thing that high school never taught you, and this you'll find it out here. Okay, why is it important? You see, first impression matters a lot. How you present yourself affects relationships and opportunities. Social etiquette and professionalism will build trust, respect, and credibility in the personal and work environment. You have to learn this social etiquette and professionalism, especially professionalism. Okay, how do you relate with people around you is very very key. So what are those real life examples? Job interviews. For instance, employers will value candidates who dress appropriately, communicate clearly, and show respect. This reminds me of a leadership position I had applied, and I was lucky enough to get to the interview, interview level, and I was the most, what can I call it? Is it the most or the least qualified member in terms of experience? Very least. But I came dressed on a suit for the first time in my life. That's the first time I actually wore a suit. Very nice shoes. I actually went for a very clean haircut, for that matter. And I can tell you, I just spoke, and at the end of that interview, even an interviewer said, you know what? I have loved your haircut. You look amazing, and oh, you're just amazing. And by that, I started feeling like as if I've just gotten this job. And oh, your guesses are as good as mine. I got the job just because of how you present yourself. These are skills you have to learn. They are all over, and I will be giving you where to learn them just below here. Something else is networking events. A lack of basic manners, like not greeting people or interrupting, can leave a negative impression about you. You're in a class, the lecturer is busy, speaking there. How do you interrupt? How do you ask a question? Or in a certain event, how do you present yourself? It matters a lot. And you see, you can never correct the first impression. There's things you will do, and people will always see you that, even if you change later in life, they will always have that negative impression about you. Okay? So what are the actionable steps? Learn the basics like maintaining the eye contact. A proper handshake. You're going to greet your dean or your vice chancellor, and then you are shaking their hands like, they're not people of your age. Or you're shaking a hand to someone who is older than you, and you are seated and he's standing. Where did you see that? You have to stand. These are things that you have to learn as well. Active listening, I've talked about it. Okay? Workplace professionalism, e.g. being punctual, meeting deadlines, etc. You see, practice empathy and courtesy, such as holding doors open or showing gratitude with simple thank yous. Again, you can find these in YouTube. You just have to go and search social etiquette and professionalism, and you will get a whole idea of these particular skills that high school will never teach you. Okay, and then to the most greatest skill that you will ever learn. And if you don't get all those that I've said, at least go home with this. The eighth one is subscribing to the Kenyan student. Yeah. Oh my, I know it looks funny, but let me tell you, and this particular channel will give you good vibes and lead you to your dream life. This is the only channel that will take you from primary to campus without stopping you anywhere. Okay, so please take that time and subscribe. Hit that subscription button, and I'm telling you, you're going to have done us justice, and we promise you to continue giving you even greater content that you've never seen anywhere else in YouTube. Okay, so start with a new skill at a time. Invest in growth to thrive in the real world, and let me know what's one skill you'll start learning today. Let me just know that in the comments. And with that, this has been the Kenyan student. See you in the next